Miss South Africa 2020, Shudufhadzo Musida, is set to team up with the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra to narrate musical items before she competes in the Miss World pageant. With this, as the orchestra plans to devote the remainder of the 2022 to make up for the lack of musical events during the COVID-19 pandemic by presenting a feast of musical shows. She joins me now to discuss this further. Shudu, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on our program. I've had a look at the list of the performers, and I guess it's really promising to be a treat for music lovers. Talk us through.
But it's going to be an amazing, amazing evening, and I think, as we know, that the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra is one of South Africa's premier orchestras, and they have prepared an impressive lineup, and I'm so excited to be a part of this production. Straight
from walking your runways, from pageantry, you're now being roped in to narrate these, beautiful musical items promised. Talk us through your preparation process. How's it going?
It's going really, really well. It's been a very busy couple of days, but I think the show is very aligned to who I am. Music has always been my calming place, and I've always loved classical music, jazz and blues, and there's so much of that, of the variety and diversity in the different pieces that we're going to be showcasing tonight. So in the preparation, I found myself very excited, only trying to find out how to pronounce the names of Claude, Debussy properly, and the Fledermaus. So it was exciting. It was really, really exciting for me to prepare for this, because I just got transported on a journey of just beautiful, beautiful music and amazing, amazing composers and soloists.
I got some time to read through the statement that was written by, the organizers of this event, and as always, they were never so shy from bringing up the fact that you play such an important role in the advocacy of mental health. Knowing that you also won't let this be a missed opportunity, can we expect anything of that sort from you? How are you going to incorporate the two?
I think, as I said before, music was always my calm and safe place. I remember growing up in Venda, my great-grandmother, when she would be making one of my favorite dishes, moroatanga, she would be humming as she grinded the nuts, and I found that to be a calming place. And I think as Miss South Africa, I tried my best, and I did my best to provide a calm place and safe place for people that are suffering from mental illnesses, and just to destigmatize mental health all around. So I think in just being a part of the show, it's a therapeutic process for those that will be there, and for those that and for music lovers in general. Music is a form of therapy for me, and I know for so many other people. So I will be bringing in my mental health advocacy, because it's very much about trying to find a safe place and a calm place for people to just share themselves.
I'm not quite sure if you've been, had the opportunity to speak to some of the performers, the organizers of the event, but as we know that the event has been cancelled some time before due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and one can imagine the strain that it has had on the performers who've had to sit on the sidelines and miss out on having those, important, the event then necessarily taking place. What has been the feel like with regards to now it's finally happening?
I got a glimpse of the rehearsals. I didn't get to meet all of the performers, but I think it's finally coming up for air. I don't know if that's a perfect description for it, because I was just watching it and I felt like, wow, we are attending in-person concerts again, and I can only imagine what artists have been going through and not being able to share their art and do what they love for a living. But just watching it, just seeing and feeling the atmosphere in the room was absolutely amazing. Because it's almost like all of us are finally coming up for air, and we're getting to do this again, but with all protocols observed, because we worked really, really hard as a global community to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, and now as we are recovering slowly, but it's great that the industry is up and running again, especially for the artists.
This will be your last, or rather final, local appearance that you're going to be making before you jet off to the world stage. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very, very excited. I think I was just coming from home now, and you get to see what it means. I think sometimes when we are working so hard, it's almost like a hamster wheel. We forget that it's not just us, it's bigger than us. I work really, really hard with my advocacy, with my reign as Miss South Africa. I worked really, really hard, and now I get to take all these conversations, the conversations that I may have with you and so many other people back home, and so many other people just in general, South Africans. And as I go to Puerto Rico, I carry those with me. When I tell my story, I'm not only telling my story, I'm telling a South African story, a story of hope, and just telling them that anything is possible, dreams are possible. So I'm very honored to have that honor bestowed on me to be able to represent my country.
True. And lastly, before I let you go, you're mentioning, how you're going to be representing South Africa in its entirety. And I think it also goes back to the amount of support you're getting from the ground. How would you describe it?
I'm very blessed with a good team that has been helping a lot, especially with my mental health advocacy. When I got to Puerto Rico, it was absolutely amazing to have the work that I did as Miss South Africa recognized, which put me into the top 40 for Miss World. So going there, I'm just very happy to have the support of my family, the support of my team, and every single person that has supported this mindful movement and advocacy, because that's what it's about for me. So I'm very blessed to have the support of people going out of their way to make sure that I feel supported, be it on social media. I remember when I was in Puerto Rico, I had a video for my Beauty of the Purpose video, and someone, Daniel Marvin on Twitter actually, decided to start promoting my video. It went from 25,000 or 28,000 viewers to close to 200,000 in less than 3 days. So the support has been very, very overwhelming, but in a good way. I feel very blessed that I am basically backed by an entire village.
And lastly, before I let you go, as a final parting word, and I hope that when you do return back to South Africa, I think we're all expectant of a continuation of your good work with regards to the advocacy of mental health. What's your plan? Do you have anything drafted as of yet?
I think my biggest thing is just engaging with all stakeholders to make sure that mental health becomes a priority. I think what I've realized is that in order for us to not only recover from an economic standpoint as a country, we also need to recover emotionally and mentally as well, especially when it comes to mental health. We've lived in a state of anxiety for close to 2 years, if not more, and it's time for us to recover in that way as well. So my biggest mission, my biggest goal in engaging stakeholders from government to private stakeholders is let's prioritize mental health education. Let's try to destigmatize mental health from the ground up, from ECD level. So that is my goal, to engage with stakeholders to make that a possibility. Through my book, Shudufhadzo Magic, and through the mindful movement, I can only do so much by myself, but with the support of South Africans, with the support of government and private stakeholders, so much can be done to basically change the narrative and be front runners in terms of prioritizing mental health as defined by the World Health Organization.
Well, Shudu, thank you so much for making time for us this afternoon. All the best with the event, and most importantly, all the best with the Miss World pageant. South Africa is indeed standing behind you.